office jongka Commissioner for Person with Disabilities kabadai hapo Jokatanat Social Welfare jongka Sorkar Meghalaya. Haga jingi trelang bat ka Secretariat Administration Department bat kumjuru bat ka Trestel Lab PVT Ltd Bangalore. Haniga sengi kelapenlong ya ka program pekerpang halor kapang Assistive Technology and Digital Accessibility for Government Employees, promoting an inclusive workplace for employees with visual impairment. Habakren hagani kesengi nagalang unong aibut ke Sorkar jela oba pol lengdo ola banjur halor ke jingdon kam bandon ya ki office Sorkar kajaka ka babaro kila banyo jingtip bat banyo ru ya ka jingsekri ka babahatam kamtam habai de bat kitu ki baduna department ulai kublai kerpang ya kinong peniat balashim ya kanik senjam ban yarap ikitu kinong tray Sorkar ki bamla banyo ikikman bakin la bantip ya kikot kisla nda ka bapendon kami kikor kibor jong kajuk ka ba menta. Ha kani kesengi la yoru ya kejingkren na usketri katanat SAD uswap nil tambe IS balapan pau ya kejingtrai kam jong katanat ha sekretariat berkesinjam ban pensuk ya kibaduna dekonmet la kadai ha kalenti kesengken kejinglai cabar bat kiwei.
For the persons with disabilities, but as you can see, there are some vehicles parked in front of it, and that is always the scenario. We have to tell people, not to park and obstruct. If we have to keep that space free for those who are entitled to it. So this is a small example of even when facilities are available, they are clouded by something else. Next, we do have some works has been done under the Accessibility India campaign to put these tactile tiles all across the additional secretariat and also the main secretariat to ensure mobility to all those with visually impairment. Next. We do have all these signage also, thanks to the PWD department who have ensured that. Next. And also the room numbers and all that, everything we have incorporated in the rail sign. Next. And we also have a lift for those with locomotive disability. Next. So these are the compliance to the act which is there, but the point of today's program is that we need to go beyond this. Beyond all this, for ensuring physical access, there are some things which are missing. Next. I am also the director for our state ATI, which is MATI, Meghalaya Administrative Training Institute. And I was, yesterday I was just asking my assistant directors, do we have a program, special program for the visually impaired reading assistant? Because we need to, provide them the right skills and right tools and right training so that they are able to work in the department. So the answer which came was sadly no. So we are right now in the process of curating a special program for all the dealing assistants of Secretariat and also all the directors and non-subordinate officers. So hopefully in a couple of months we'll see this program so that we prepare them. It's not just, of course, as a part of the act, the vacancies, the posts are reserved. But then what happens after that? Are they able to work? Are they able to, receive the kind of support they, need? Are they having the ecosystem to perform? Unfortunately, the answer today is no. But we want to do something, and from MATI and from SAD department, I want to assure everyone present here that in these next few months we will change all this. Next. There are tools, there are screen readers. I think the speaker before me talked about screen readers and all. But are state softwares compatible with that? More often now we are using the proposal system, e-files. In Government of India, 100% files are transacted on e-files. The same vision is for Government of Meghalaya. In the next 2-3 years, everything will be on e-files. But is that software compatible with screen readers? So that's the question we need to ask ourselves. And if not, then we need to make it happen in the coming days. Next. And also, it's also beyond these digital tools and all kind of softwares. These are very easy solutions. We can buy the device, we can buy the software, we can make it available. But what is more difficult is changing the environment. Changing the environment in each department, whether the others who are there, who are already working, whether they are sensitized on it, whether me, myself, you, whether the superintendents, whether the under secretaries, whether the assistant superintendents, whether the UDAs, they are sensitized on this. How do we work together? and by using these tools, by using this platform, but at the same time providing that extra hand-holding support so that they can function in any department for that matter, right? So we have to. So these are the challenges, sir. I wanted to bring to your attention as well, and also to the social welfare department. Let us work together. So that we resolve this. Yes, today I'm very happy that there's a device demonstration and we'll be providing that. But I think more importantly, we need to change the entire ecosystem. And I hope after today's program, there will be some changes seen immediately in Secretariat and in all the other departments which will follow through. Next. That is all from my side. For any support regarding any such feature which is missing, especially I want to request all our friends, if any inclusivity feature is missing in the Secretariat, if you have any ideas, whatever is required, please reach out to me and let us make the Secretariat and in fact all other offices more inclusive. Thank you so much, Kubesh.
For being differently abled, which by inference would also mean that my speech will have to be far shorter than hers. Congratulations to the entire team of people Trestle Labs, Bengaluru, which has facilitated this huge initiative enabling the state government to leverage ICT in order to create a better ecosystem for the differently able. Linkor, Commissioner for Persons with Disabilities, Region. A lot of familiar faces here. I will not take time to name each one of you, but it is with profuse and immense pleasure that I agreed to be here to share with you a few thoughts on this very important initiative and the sensitization program on assistive technology and digital accessibility for government employees. Bertha, who is here in our midst and who is instrumental in enabling the creation of the Hasi Code of Braille, reminds each one of us that there are a lot of people with perfect eyesight but no vision, and that there are people with limited or no eyesight but with a grand vision. I think in that context, we should ask ourselves who are differently able, who are visually challenged. So it reminds each one of us, and I think it's very important, especially for government officers, employees at various levels, to remember that eyesight alone does not give you vision. Rather, it is just the other way around. You need vision with or without eyesight. I'd like to make a mention of two special names, people of eminence. Helen Keller, who was born without eyesight and was also deaf. And yet, she accomplished something that persons with all facilities and all senses have not been able to accomplish. She wrote books, delivered lectures at various platforms, and made friends with presidents across nations. More importantly, she made sure that nobody would look down or treat people with disabilities as inferior or lesser in any manner. There is another name which I'd like to make a mention here, and that is Stevie Wonder. A boy who first showed symptoms of blindness and then lost his eyesight totally by the age of 2. Yet he became a child prodigy, playing the piano at the age of 9 and winning his first Motown hit at the age of 30, and later went on to win 22 Grammy Awards. It just shows that there is certainly no barrier that any human being is not capable of overcoming. Therefore, my brief message to each one of us, and especially to persons working in various government offices, having these disabilities, that your disability in no way takes away from you the potential that you can unleash as a human being. We are here at Usosotan Auditorium. Apart from the examples I have cited, I'd like to turn your attention to a poem which Sosotan wrote years ago on Sip Matlah. Nadai Sip Matlah properly, jain bajot phong, phawar rkhie, nangta bainong. I am poor, blind Sip, wearing torn outfits. I recite powers and laugh, and then you reward me. It might sound as very simple lines of poetry, but what does it convey? First, it conveys that this particular person who is visually impaired, who said, was a performer. He recites powers and then he is rewarded. Rkhie, nangta bainong. It means he saw himself as a performer whose performance has to be rewarded. He didn't see himself as a beggar with no eyesight, who needed sympathy, who needed empathy, who needed financial support, who needed any form of support. That is the perspective which I think should inform our policy making, should inform the various initiatives which Mr. Tembe has just highlighted. I'm happy to see that we have young, energetic officers, and as he said, he's just the opposite of the acronym of the department we are currently working with. And it is through your hard work as officers, combined with political leadership, that we can all make and transform Meghalaya to make it more friendly to those with various forms of impairments. Before I resume my seat, let me once again remind lines which I've been quoting in my various speeches. I'd like to remind this audience today as well. You may have eyesight, but do you have vision? You may hear, but do you listen? You may speak, but do you utter words of blessings? You may walk, but are you walking forward in the right direction? You may have a heart, but does that heart beat with compassion and love? Let us think, ask, and reflect. Kulesh Bol, thank you, God bless.